What's up? Ziggy the Bard here, aka Ziggy Poet, aka Alberta, aka a lot of things. I can go on and on and on. Here is the sky tonight. We're looking at the moon conjunct Jupiter, and it's in Gemini underneath Pollux and Castor. Betelgeuse is just south of it. There's a lot of cool things going on. The Pleiades and Venus are rising, but where Venus is rising, Uranus is also sitting back in there. There's Algol to the right and Regulus up to the top left of the screen. And while all this is going on, there is a Mercury-Mars-Saturn conjunction, and Neptune is also sitting back in there, which is interesting. Scorpius is on the opposite side of the sky with Antares and Alpha Centauri, which is the closest star to us. And yeah, so I started this channel kind of just to bring my love of observing the stars and my love of music together. So I'm going to spend the first little bit of these videos trying to explain why I'm making the observations that I am and why they're important to me, and then I'm just going to have music playing via Ziggy Poet music, ShyDog Studio. This is the first video I'm making, so the footage will probably get better. It was the first time I ever shot these. It was really cold that night. I made all the footage on April 22nd, facing westward. It's about midnight. I was looking at Jupiter, which was pretty amazing, and I just got a new camera optic mount for the telescope, so I'm learning how to use that. I wanted to celebrate National Astronomy Day here, April 25th, and officially launch this channel, because tomorrow, April 26th, Uranus enters Gemini, leaving Taurus, signaling a new 7-year cycle. Sometimes I'll maybe bring astrology into this channel, but for this video, I'm just focusing on the observations that I made and announcing that the instrumental version of Gonzo Poetry, Ziggy Poet's 6th album, studio album, is live on the 26th, on Sunday. And to celebrate that, kind of moved my side channel from Ziggy the Bard, which was gaming and Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, over to watching the sky, because this is something I'll do for the rest of my life, and I love it, to be honest. All the footage and images are owned and shot by me, but you can use them if you give me credit, give ShyDog Studio credit, shout out the music, whatever. I'm not too crazy about that stuff, but yeah, this is kind of my radio station. Back in the day, I was asked to do a radio spot from like midnight till 5 in the morning in Victoria, and I never did it, but I like to waffle, I like to talk to myself, so expect that from this channel. So this day was kind of special in a few reasons. There was a Lyria meteor shower that was at its peak, and there's like 15 to 20 meteors per hour radiating from the constellation Lyra. The sun was in the constellation Aries, and it was shining light on the moon, making the moon a waxing crescent. It was about 42% illumination. It had a magnitude of about 11.6 minus 11.6. At about 10 o'clock UTC, so Universal Time, the moon and Jupiter, they were separated by 3.33 degrees, which is interesting. The moon takes like 28 days to cycle, so I don't particularly want to horoscope or anything, but I do like to bring in astrology with astronomy. They're important. I know people kind of scoff at astrology, only like looking at their sun sign, newspaper, horoscope reading, so I won't bring in like the psychology of all of it, but it was really interesting because this moon-Jupiter conjunction took place in Cancer. Jupiter's exalted in Cancer, and it's, you know, it's pretty strong where it is right now. There's also this awesome Mercury-Mars-Saturn cluster conjunction, and that was happening in Aries, and there's a lot going on in terms of the Aries energies in the last few weeks, and Aries point is like 0 degrees in the world stage. If you're interested in the astrology, I can definitely talk a little bit more about that, but I don't want to put people off from my awesome telescope view from talking about that. But it does add such a layer of context to kind of like the sociological egregore. It's like reading kind of the weather of people in my opinion, astrology. But Neptune was also hanging out at the very beginning of Aries. Yeah, it's just very interesting because it was squaring the moon and Jupiter's conjunction. The sun was in Taurus at this time, and as we know, on the 26th, Uranus is moving out of Taurus into Gemini. There's just a whole lot of like commingling energies here, and I'm learning by doing. That's the process. That's pretty much what Aries energy is, and having so many orbiting bodies in Aries, we're really feeling that in these times, and making these videos is part of that. I'm actively participating. That's Gonzo Poetry. That's narrating and contributing to your story. So let's go quick over this. The moon was in Cancer in the constellation of Gemini. Jupiter in Cancer, constellation of Gemini. The sun was in Taurus in the constellation of Aries. Mars was in the astrological sign of Aries in the constellation of Pisces, but on the Aries cusp. That's the same for Saturn and Mercury because they were all conjunct. And Neptune is in the astrological sign of Aries in the constellation of Pisces. It's just also very interesting. I won't talk more, but enjoy the pictures, enjoy the very first episode of Ziggy Does Astronomy stuff. I don't know. If you have any information to share, I want to keep this radio station all about just like high-minded information sharing, and you know, that's it. I make music and I like to look at the stars. Bye.